Another day, another podcast. Hello and welcome to my newfound, what do I call it? My newfound passion, to my newfound purpose. Okay, let me just get comfortable in here. Do my little thing. I have registered for the Conscious Business Accelerator and started that yesterday. It's a 3-week course, and it's led by Aaron Doughty, Victor Odo, and Matt something. I cannot remember right now. And it's very interesting because I find myself starting anew again, thinking I need to keep an open mind to see what else I can learn from here, and also seeing that the stepping into my power thing that's been following me around throughout my life, it's gotta happen one way or another, sooner or later. Whatever stepping into my power means, that needs to happen. So where am I going this week? I think I'm gonna start with, I noticed when I edited my other last week's thing that I've not mentioned anything about gigs. Now, who is Gigs? Besides all these other personalities and names that I have spoken about, Gigs is another name that I have been given lovingly by Scott. You know, I spoke in one of the episodes about the Beyond Limits course. That's used to be a life coaching program. And Scott, I don't know, I think it was week 2, week 3 of us getting on the live calls, and I was just sharing something that had happened with me in that week and laughing so much because that is my other superpower. I just laugh a lot. A bit on the side note here, it does tend to be my defense mechanism as well. Laughter does. Anyway, that day I was sharing something very full-heartedly. Oh my god, I can't even remember what it was, but he looked at me and he's like, "You are not Phoenix, you are Giggles McGee." And it was a whole thing. At the time I was Giggles. I was just given the name Giggles, that slowly became Gigs, and then it followed me throughout, because even now he still calls me Gigs, Em still calls me Gigs, Simon totally. So I think more people lately call me Phoenix or Joe or Jojo or Yuana, but Gigs is very in my face a lot still. Why am I mentioning this now? Because I've noticed it's the part of me that I figured out at a certain point through a meditation that Gigs is my inner child, because it was a breathwork. Actually, it was one of the breathworks that I did, one of Em's breathwork. She has a program, or had a program, that was focusing on all the chakras in our body. And okay, I've noticed my hands have come out. That's it, I'm talking with my hands now. And she has a different breath work for every chakra. And I was doing the sacral breath work. The guiding that she does in there was to do with your inner child. And I remember, I don't know how dots connected in my brain at the time, that I was like, oh my god, Giggles is my inner child. That persona, that part of me is my inner child that has actually been given a name now. So let's close that avenue. I don't know, I think I've got a thing with my hair today. See, Giggles. I feel like whenever I wear my hair like this, I am a child. I feel like more like a child, even though hearing myself saying that out loud is like, I'm 38. My face is telling me about it. And I'm still wearing these. I was walking yesterday actually thinking, oh my God, I dress up like a teenager sometimes and thinking, how am I going to evolve from this stage of life if I still dress up like a teenager? And then I'm thinking, does it matter? Does it matter what I dress up like? Or does it matter who I am? Does it matter who I am? Does that matter? I don't know. Another tangent. So, after that little silly introduction about my giggles persona, where am I going today? In the clarity and clearing my channel part. My meditation and breathwork today. Okay, starting with that. I have been waking up every day and doing breathwork or meditation or both for a really long time. Very rarely I wake up and just get up and go. If, for example, I have an appointment or a bus to catch or whatever, somewhere to be really early in the morning, that my human self doesn't want to wake up extra early to do those parts. So I'll do them later in the day. That's what basically happens. But generally for, wow, 5, 6, whatever, 2017, since then, do the maths. I don't know what, 2024 now. I've been waking up and doing meditation or breath work or both. And I have noticed that more recently, and when I say more recently, in the past few months, it has become just an automated thing, not necessarily a full connection with my higher self, my inner self, my God self, that part of me. And it's reflecting. I can see how it's been reflecting outside of me in the ways that I've been forgetting about the things that I want to put out into the world, forgetting about the clarity, forgetting about the clear channel, looking after myself. Because that's one of the ways in which I feel like I'm looking after myself, taking time to go within. And it's so interesting because I preach about that to people. Who people? What people? Anybody that I meet, align, and then that part, align my own energy to whatever alignment means. In my brain, it means certain thing. For you, it might mean something else. So align my energy with my inner self and then take action. And it seems to me that lately it has been just an automated thing of, oh, I'm doing a meditation, and I can tell in my head all this going on. And it has been very little when I actually felt the quieting of the mind or the connection, because more often than not it feels like that's all that's happening and I cannot snap myself out of it. But I think I got to a point now when I can tell that it's sort of got so bad. When your shit is not big enough, you don't do anything to change because it's nothing you can change externally. It can only happen internally. And I feel like where I'm at right now in my life, that part that I was talking about, being saved part, is because I have not been connecting. I have not been online. I have not been putting my Wi-Fi signal out to the universe, or switching my frequency to that God part inside of me, to that God particle inside of me. And today this is what showed up in my meditation. The clearing of the channel, the conduit that I am. I gotta look after it. And I have been seeing, hearing, being guided towards fasting for a while. And my human self is like, too hard, it's too much, I can't do it. Oh, I can do 24 hours and that's about it, which I have been doing. It seems like I can't push past that 24-hour thing. So now I think I'm putting it out. Here it is. Maybe by the time this comes out, I have actually gone through the whole fasting process of at least going past that 24-hour barrier that I seem to have. 48, 72, maybe a whole week, who knows? Because I feel like my tube is not clear at all. I feel like that has happened because of focusing my energy way too much externally, way too much outside of me, and very little internally. I have been, like I said, in my morning practices, little bits here and there, but then I forget throughout the day of where is my connection, where is my presence, where is my attention going? Because it can flicker about. It can be wrapped up, get wrapped up in whatever the events are happening in the day, and then and then I feel disconnected, and then I feel like I don't have ideas, and I don't have imagination, and I don't have any creative thoughts. That's what seems to happen. So I know that I can never go back to whoever I was previous to this stage in my life. I can never go back to the feelings, the places, the people, the energy that I was in, let's say 2 years ago. Because I've noticed my my mind keeps wanting to go back to those feelings, because that's when I felt most happy, most connected, most magical, when I lived in Worcester. I think I have said that so many times to my friends recently that they're probably fed up of hearing it. The time when I lived in Worcester was the time when I felt most at home. I felt most in flow. Magic was happening left, right, and center, synchronicities all over the place. I lived at my freest, I would say, from whatever kind of perspective you want to look at it. And now it feels very contrasty. It feels like I have been, okay, where do I want to take this thought? Because there's a part of me that wants to take it into, I have been put into the other end of the stick just to integrate it, just to feel contrast, because there's something else that's emerging out of this. I also have the little thing that Bashar I've heard say, or correcter English would be, I've heard Bashar say. Anyway, you go to these high places to allow more light into your body, and then you come. It's like a wave, right? Up and down, up and down. So you go to the high, you come to the down, because you have to bring whatever light you have connected with into earth and integrate it, ground it, ground the new energy into the body. Wow, yeah, into the body for sure. And then through the earth. And then he also describes it as, it's not a like this wave. Whoops, sorry, my dear Mike. It's like this. So you go up and down, but it's a constant going up, which hit differently when I last heard it. Because in my mind right now, and in my system, and in how I feel, it's like I have gone down hard, and I'm just peeking my head up little bits here and there, and then I'm hard down again, and just breathing a little bit, and then I'm right hard again. And I keep putting it down to, I have not learned something. There's something in my human self, in my ego, in my mind, that I have not learned, that I keep being put to this level, to this energy that I feel that I'm in right now. I feel like I'm channeling a bit of Kyle Cease this very moment, because I can hear him in my head. Can I just be in this energy and not judge it, not try to change it, not fix it, not heal it, not running out of it? Can I just be in this energy and allow it to run its course, and at the same time stepping into the new? Once I allow my body to do its thing, once I embrace and accept what is, how do I take the next step? How do I show up for myself? Because see, this is another part of what's been showing up for me, clearing my channel and also embracing some labels. What does embracing some labels mean? And it's interesting because I'm saying that, and I'm the one person that does not like them at all. I don't like this idea of, let's say, using a certain condition, circumstance in your life as a reason to why you're behaving a certain way. Let's say I've been a victim of abuse growing up, and I keep using that as an excuse for my life and for the way that I'm behaving. So I don't like using those stuff. And then at the same time, I know that if I want to step into my greatness fully, I sort of need to put some sticker to myself of who am I and what am I doing? Why am I here? Why am I recording this? Let's say. What am I trying to achieve with it? I think mostly it's just stepping out of my comfort zone and putting myself out. What putting myself out means is I want to reach out people and I would love to support them into their growth, into their expansion, into their ascension, into whatever. People that are on a spiritual journey, that have gone or are going through the things that I've gone through, that I know I've got knowledge around, that I know I could help with. And at the same time, I have resistance with the label of coach, guide. So, integrating that right now would be, can I just accept that that might be my path for now? That maybe I am a YouTuber. Wow, that's new, because I never saw myself as putting that label onto myself. And for the purpose of creation, for the purpose of co-creation, can I accept that about myself and just allow the flow to run through? Because it feels like if I don't, I am stopping the flow. I am interrupting the flow. Life wants to present me with opportunities and abundance and people and situations, and I stop it because I don't want to embrace this part of myself, which is the coach part, the guide part, the person that kind of knows stuff. See, I even said kind of. Why can I not accept this very hot moment that I do know things? Because of this. Because it's giggles. Because giggles feels like the world outside is so big and so scary, and I am just a little child and I cannot do this and I cannot do that. It's too much, it's overwhelming. And can I just speak to her right now? And remind her that it's not her that needs to do these things. There's other parts of me in there, in here, that can handle everything, that can handle all of this stuff. There's the adult part of me that's learned and integrated. There's the mature side. I do apparently have a mature side that I tend to avoid, and I can feel how uncomfortable it feels in my body right now. It feels uncomfortable to talk about the mature side of me, because I know that the mature side of me has responsibility, and with great power comes great responsibility. And it feels like this is what I've been avoiding, the responsibility part. So right here, right now, I'm integrating the responsible part. I'm accepting it and not running away from it. This is turning into something else altogether. It's turning into me coaching myself through this whole process. I do enjoy it. I do enjoy doing this. And going back to the meditation and breathwork that I was doing in the morning, the one thing that came through, because of course, once the channel is clear and the connection is there, the messages come through. So one of the messages that has come through for me was, instead of it being just me talking like so, I can introduce people. I can have conversations with other people. It doesn't have to be just me. And I've got a few guests that I've already made a list of that I would like to bring on. And it's so funny because as I was thinking of this list of mine, of the people that I would like to have here, I've written down the ones that have had the most impact in my life. And also thought, oh my God, all these other people that have gone through courses with me, that have been, and well, I was going to say that have been holding my hand throughout this thing, but still are, and going through life and exploring in their own little way or big way their lives. They are just as important as anybody else, just as magnificent, just as magical, just as full of knowledge and, did I say magic? And healing they have to offer to the world because they do it to themselves. So I am going to invite people on this thing of mine and see how it goes, see where it goes. I am very excited about it because that means I'm going to have to embrace the host, the host personality, the interviewer personality that I don't feel. See, my giggles are coming in. That I don't feel ready for. How do I get ready for it? By doing it. This is what breathwork has taught me. This is what I freaking preach everywhere I go. That holding your breath on the exhale in the breathwork is helping you push out of your comfort zone in that area. But it's a skill that's transferable in day-to-day life. You can push out of your comfort zone by doing the things that you're afraid of doing, that you know are for your growth, towards your expansion. Like this, what I'm doing here, feels like it's for my expansion. It feels like even though there's a part of me that's thinking nobody's gonna watch this, there's also a part of me that's thinking, even if one person, even if nobody watches it, I am doing this for me. I am doing this for me to be able to speak, to be able to allow the flow to come through, to be able to have other insights, to even work on myself, to heal parts of me, to look at parts of me that I probably ignored or put aside. So this is a Dear Diary as well. This is totally a Dear Diary for me of my life, because I cannot speak for anybody. I cannot talk about anybody else's life except my own. And that's where my magic is, or at least part of it. So here we go. I think I'm going to leave this as short as it is now. I'm at 25. It's probably going to be shorter with the editing bits. There's a burp or two here and there. I'm probably going to edit out. So there we go. Today has been a short one. And looking forward to see what's coming out of this. See you all next week. Bye bye.